This may be a bit glitchy. I'm loading. This may be a bit glitchy. I'm loading, recording. I didn't want this to come up, but I figured while I'm waiting, it's about to crash. I didn't want this idea to get lost. So, doesn't matter which way. I'd like, I'm thinking about the, you don't know. I'm thinking about the substitute teachers model here about, oh, wrong button. About what it is we're supposed to be teaching these kids instead of just getting them into Roblox and having them do some partial coding. Like, when it comes to that VS, well, actually, I would prefer new entries get to the VS software. I think it's a little softer and it helps you quite a bit with the files. I'm pretty sure, though, once you get it ripping and you know what you're doing, yeah, it's going to pop up in a minute. Once you get it going, though, and you know how to use your files, check your HTML stuff, come over here. Let's see if we just pop one up. There's nothing I'm worried about on here. Like I said, she's working hard right now. She must not have tried it. Yes. Just gonna grab something I have handy. Yeah, like I said, it's just, I overworked it. I would never have it this maxed out. I'm just testing, so. Come on. Open Sesame. Okay. It's page. Pretty straightforward. VS, file, check your stuff. You can do it if it lets you do it. Right now mine's broken. I touched buttons or something, so not really what we are trying to accomplish here. Dust these down. Dust this down. And getting used to that substitute teacher. First day entry, get them on the computer, learn some file stuff, get a murder button, make sure that they can jump through pages. If that takes a week with 9th graders and 2 days with 12th graders, well, there's your JavaScript math for you. But there's no way I'm going to be able to tell that without terminals, without login names, and it's a bit more advanced. But again, without the base driver of that information as far as what they are, you won't have anything to graph. The idea being here, come on, you can do it. You can do it, little one. I think I double tapped that one. That's alright. Ah, get out of here. Well, that's not what I wanted to do. Like I said, all on that entry page. Now, give them options. Let's say I wanted to do some Java or Python stuff. This button right here is the only button they can touch. Well, they actually do have the option of watch the video or touch the button. If A or B was what they terminaled without using some other kid's terminal, and it needed to route on that subpage of what end number was or which terminal or which route, once they're through that, then they do something else as well. Or they if you wanted to do a time function in there, how long they spend in there, I'm sure there's a way to program that into the function. Maybe you need to get into Arduinos. Like, you can have to program that in there, and know how to program to the sensor of whatever flavor. Maybe it's a light detector, maybe it's a electron detector of a different flavor that serves its function, because that's all it's got to do with the base system. Of course, me, I'm still, this is when I ask a teacher, well, why do you let the kids play Roblox when this is that game? Eventually we could build that. We're going to want to build a parallel of Roblox. It's not these jobs kid to market that or try to make a business out of it. They don't understand patent law yet. They're still trying to figure out the basic code. And like that, patent law, you're going to have to be pretty advanced about how physics works, how something in that environment works. But fair usage here says, if I want to crack open, what do we got here? Let's just pop it open here. I can inspect this. I can tell you this is more important for web design, reading the tea leaves here, because I won't need everything. We can go to YouTube and that mock YouTube page, and I can make a small little URL. It's not, well, what is it? It's a CPU or something. It's a, what is it? / add, right? I'm making a class for what it does in some kind of JavaScript to then read off to me and tell me A or B. And you can subfunction that down to basically infinity, I guess. I mean, you would want the Anderson numbers a prime function, not because I care about Anderson numbers or Andrews numbers or how prime is relative here when prime is just going to be polar 0. This side's more better than this side. If that logic doesn't work out, then there's the high or low, or the orientation of a program that does that. And well, then you go figure out triangles on the rendering space of how to optimize it. And I you know, I don't know how to do any of it here, but I've done it so many times in the stone mill. It's ridiculous. Yeah, them saw cut codes. Yeah. Wow. Like I said, tread cut codes, trucking cut codes. Once you know that's the thing that needs to be programmed into here, you just kind of fit it in there and debug it, right? I mean, the only problem is, much like a computer dev getting in there, we both probably know the n number, how to set up IH derivative x over derivative x squared, or derivative squared, derivative x squared, and tell you that's going to be A or B. They click on that button, it goes this. They cut that stone first over this stone first, and the results will be this. And, you know, that's that very limited, if dogs, animals, dog, then the logic makes a lot of sense, because, not because always dogs and wolf, or if you said you programmed it to, it'll say dog and apple. Now, I don't, illogically, gravity speaking, that's not preferential, and to the teacher, you want to make sure that you're explaining that to the kids. Here, you know, when you want this pure coder's job, we're not talking about scamming numbers. We want a local sales ratio against why it would be so different mathematically in some other geolocation, right? We don't know where those terminals are yet. We really don't have anything to get out there, so regardless of whether it being in superposition or not, it's definitely a 0. You know, it's not until I can get some tests out of that to make it calculable that I could say superposition is working. Quantum teleportation does work, because as much as you do this, and it can be 100% right, if their terminal's not good for it, it's going to be a 0. And so at the social level, the student level, why would it make any difference? Just because you'll have that symmetry break doesn't mean that the sacred geometry for what we're asking it to do, computer, result, student, result. Some computers are based on that n1/2 of the student that's represented to them, because all computers are going to be limited in that way, even GPT-4. I mean, GPT-4 is not combing the internet for me's right now, trying to, how would you even program this kind of logic? So again, you know, this is a way better Roblox game than anything Roblox is going to tell you, especially when we go to the Unity file inside here of how to start that. I mean, you could either program it, give me a box, give me a page that I can build something on. I don't want that. So that way I can know the files, the VS stuff, I can grab those things, start changing them, save them, put them in a box on there, and then I was hoping to have the 3D plane ready for you, so I could take you over to the stone mill videos of optimization. You know, I'm in there on my lunch breaks, and I'm walking the camera through the stone mill. Every time, not some of the time, not most of the time, all the time's true. Every single time I took that video through there and didn't make a 3D engine on it, I was leaving something on the table. Whether it just be the Bob Rossi for the art in that Axion, that axis or camera view, light. But you'll need that shader. But not only that, then once I had that built, I didn't have the recession that comes with, oh, yeah, now you pay less of a tax because you're integrating a saw on not the entire stone mill plus a saw, and or a new person's files or something like that. And that's super critical. I mean, all of the base stuff, there's not a Ingling angle, a Euler's number, a Braun, anything that does not going to correlate to that high and low A and B with subparts underneath it. So I mean, why would you give them time to play a Roblox game? Insane.